Welcome to Tactless Radio. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, to another episode of Tactless Radio, and we are back. Happy holidays to everyone who celebrates anything around this time, and for everyone else, happy break. I'm pretty sure you are excited to have an extended break away from work, regardless of the fact that if you celebrate anything or not. So me and my sister were actually sitting out in the backyard, soaking up the sun in Arizona on Christmas, having a pretty good old time catching up. And we started having a conversation around women and rage. And what I was telling her, and I loved her perspective, so I was like, let's just jump on the mic real quick. But what I was telling her is that the media does a very horrible job of adequately showing women protection and women rage and what that actually looks like. I feel that when it comes to women and the way that they protect, it's portrayed as women being very ditzy or very airheaded, very what am I supposed to do, John? Oh my God, is there a burglar downstairs? What's that noise? Oh my God, you're giving me a gun? What am I supposed to do with this? It's portrayed in a way where she's very much so the damsel in distress, and portrayed as not an adequate partner in being able to protect said home. A lot of people, especially the incels, say that when a burglar breaks into the home, the woman would basically have she wouldn't contribute in any type of way. But if you ask any mother, let somebody break into the house and her kids are in there. Baby, she going to war. She going to war. She gonna tell that man to handle whatever the fuck the noise is, and she checking on the kids. She's gonna go get the kids. She's going to use her body as a human shield if need to and if necessary. So the fact that it's portrayed that, oh my God, if a burglar broke into the house, the woman wouldn't do anything. Like my sister said, I'm finna pass her the mic. It would be giving very much so India and Dirk. Because what do you mean? Somebody breaks into the house and my kids are here and I'm not going to get the fuck up, grab my Uzi, grab my Glock, and not make sure that my children are okay. I just hate the way that it portrays women and the way that we go about protection, especially if that woman is a mother.
That is very true. And very much an inaccurate portrayal of women, especially the black woman, when it comes to any type of movie. More specifically, give it that is where the perception is skewed when viewing women in situations of crises. And it is oftentimes portrayed that in an alternate universe, in a parallel universe, that a woman would be in a crisis, whether in home, whether outside the home, through the woods, a car on the side of the road, just an abandoned gas station, anything that pops off, or a sound that is heard, or an image that might have been seen from the peripheral corner of your eye. The woman just looks to the man to just, what are we going to do? What should we do? And realistically, if you are a black woman, and I know you I think I know you as I know myself, when hearing any noise or seeing anything that you think, even if you thought you might have seen from the peripheral corner of your eye, you already have 3 instances lined up of how you about to react. We either finna fight to the death, it's finna be a situation where we need to be far, far, far away from here, or we need to freeze for a bit and observe as we scape and analyze our surroundings, because that is also going to depict in which direction we go. Because if there's danger to the left, we need to be to the right. We can't just automatically shoot to the left where the danger is. Now we white people. No offense to those that are caucus. Just saying what is portrayed and what is known to be true. So, yes, it is a matter of just seeming like we wouldn't know what to do. And that is the portrayal, because that is what feeds the male ego. To just, let us show and portray not what is real, but what we view and deem to be true, or what we think would be true. And we need to separate thought from reality, because what we think happens and what we would think would happen is not reality and what actually occurs when the situation arises.
With that, as I was listening to you, you made me think about something that also is pretty factual and just, it's kind of built into women's DNA. Women are a little bit more conscientious about taking risk. Women are a little bit more cautious in general, meaning that if something looks a little dangerous, we don't run towards it. We're kind of asking questions and we're like, I don't necessarily know about that. Men love adventure, which means that they also love risk, and they love doing dumb shit for the thrill of it. They love doing dumb shit for adrenaline. And I'm not saying that it's just exclusively men. I'm just saying that it's more, I'm just saying majority of the time it's men seeking these things and not necessarily women. And I say this to say that women, from my perspective, and I think that if you give me an opportunity, I could pull the studies, we lean towards self-preservation naturally. We're leaning towards trying to figure out how to live longer. So if you are putting us in a position where we need to protect ourselves, to my sister's point, we are thinking through a multitude of things because we're trying to figure out how to protect ourselves. Now, men, protection, self-preservation, them thinking through very dangerous situations and not putting themselves in it, they're not really doing that on a regular basis. Just saying, they're not really doing that on a regular basis. So for the media to portray women as like this absent-minded individual when it comes time for us to protect ourselves is crazy to me, because if we really just sit back and think about genetics, if we sit back and just think about like human evolution, women have been persevering, especially how we are able to survive around the very sensitive, emotional men in our society, in our communities, in our environment, in our lives. You can't say that we're the ones that don't know how to fucking protect. Like, come on. But with that, the other thing that we were talking about was the way that women and their anger is portrayed. I hate it. I absolutely fucking hate it. Women in the real world and also in the media, our anger is not portrayed in its fullness. Men get to be angry. They get to be upset. They get to expansively be all variations of upset. Where women, even at most, all we get is passive aggressive. We don't even get like just full blown aggressive. And me and my sister were kind of talking about this. Even when you think of like media or shows or movies, because I thought about like Tina Turner and What's Love Got to Do with It, or like Jennifer Lopez and Enough. When you see the woman kicking somebody's ass, it's typically after she got her ass kicked over and over and over and over and over. And then all of a sudden it's now justified that she get that motherfucker back. When I feel like you should be able to get your lick back the first time. But that's very unladylike for some reason. So yes, sis, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you. What are your thoughts around the way that women and their rage and their anger is portrayed?
I feel in some cases that especially geared toward Black women, because we have to, I'm not going to say we have to. Personally, I'm going to bring up those of the Latin community, and when dealing with them, they can be angry. It's sexy. Muy caliente for them to get hot and bothered, Black women are not allowed that. We are, I feel personally, in my opinion, dehumanized when getting angry, when reaching the level of complete and utter frustration, irritation. But I'm going to jump into a psychological sense and term and call it what it really is. It's an overstimulation, a sensory overload of things happening around us, that's going on around us, and to which we are not able to communicate within our rationale, because it's a matter of emotion versus rationale. It's not women are emotional, men are logical. And true form, it's actually quite opposite. Men are very emotional. Women have the tendency to jump into emotion, but at the very same time, it comes into play of our ego, and we can get into our rationale. And then we become more logical in a sense to maneuver through issues, through trauma, through crisis, through situations to find solutions. Men burst out, have tantrums. That's not to say that some women don't. Back to the point, though, however, it seems as though black women especially, are dehumanized for their getting angry, being overstimulated, because that's really what it is. And men are overstimulated as well. However, them being men, it seems that it is okay, whether it's a perception of, they have a higher body mass intake, and so they have more muscle, they're stronger, they can be mad and just Hulk smash because Hulk angry. However, She-Hulk is also mad. She-Hulk also wants to smash because She-Hulk angry. However, She-Hulk is not allowed because it's a she. And so Hulk can get upset and smash. However, we have to be able to be ladylike, whether that is through a perception of viewing Claire Huxtable, whether that is through a perception of viewing your own mother or grandmother and what it is they tolerated. However, we are human, and that's what it is at the end of the day. Emotion is not tied toward gender. Emotion is human. If you're feeling something, if something has affected you and emotionally your levels have been disrupted or fluctuated to where you jump into frustration, you jump into sadness, you jump into anger, you jump into outbursts, you jump into impulsiveness, it's because you're feeling something. That means you're alive. That means you are human. And so the same grace, to a certain extent, that is given toward men, the male species, when upset, should very well be given toward women, because it's not, a man is upset, he's allowed to be angry. A woman, however, no, we're human. He is upset because whatever has transpired within his day has fluctuated his emotional levels. Now he is angry. Same thing has transpired for a woman that has disrupted her emotional levels, and now she is angry. Why must one be toned down and the other allowed to be irate? That does raise a serious question. And I personally feel there are many variables. There are many of plethora, just ideas and perceptions that would come for why a man can and a woman cannot.
It's sexism. It's fucking sexism. It's fucking misogyny.
It is misogyny.
They understand that we aren't as strong as men, just from a general scope. Women are not as muscular as men. And they really just feel like because of that alone, our anger isn't real. It isn't viable. We shouldn't use it. It shouldn't be tapped into, or it's downplayed, or it's like, oh, you're so cute when you get angry. Oh my God, look at you. Which is why I want us to have more examples of women getting pissed the fuck off. Because I don't think there's enough imagery of what a pissed off woman looks like. Because I think so many of them, to your point earlier, it's like, ooh, muy caliente. It's real cute when you get sassy. It's real cute when you get angry. You got some women that are so angry. Shout out to Lisa Left Eye Lopez. They'll burn your house down. And y'all just will say like, oh my God, look at that cute little face. Look at that woman who's so attractive and da-da-da. No, she will literally cut your dick off and throw it into the field, Lorena Bobbitt. But that's what's so crazy to me is that men have this perception that like women anger, one, they shouldn't tap into it. And if they tap into it, it should be cute. It should be like throwing your clothes out on the lawn. It's like, no, it should be throwing your clothes into the tub and bleaching them. But then what's so interesting is that when women want to come into their fullness of anger, we're crazy. We are then institutionalized. They're calling us bipolar and putting us on meds when we are having a human reaction to lobotomies, like when we are having a human interaction to consistent disrespect. But because we are having a human interaction to consistent disrespect, and this just like literally popped into my brain. One of the reasons why I feel like so many men do not allow for women to access that human reaction is because they don't look at us as human. They think they're the only ones who are human. So they're the only ones who get to tap into human emotions. They don't see us as human. So what are we doing getting mad? What are we doing getting upset? There's only two emotions we should have: happy and caring. Maybe horny, but only for them and their heterosexual fantasies. It's unfortunate that we don't have enough imagery of what women being pissed off really, really looks like. Maybe that's why Waiting to Exhale did as well as it did, because that is maybe one of the very few pieces of media that we have that we can see not only women, but black women getting fed the fuck up and doing something about it. Again, it's after getting tossed around in the disrespect salad time and time again, but I am gonna burn your shit. You raggedy bitch. I'll be that raggedy bitch. I don't care.
That was the most iconic thing. Just, you bitches always like bitches. Just like talking about how a man don't know how to treat ya. As soon as you get one, you bitches act simple. It's like, says the drunken man wearing leather in the summer, sweating and stinky with a 13-year-old son that you didn't care to tell nobody until you got drunk. So, is you really a man that knows how to treat a black woman? Bypass the point. My word. That was just a good, unfortunate, memorable, hilarious scene of that movie.
It really was.
But yes, we do not have many examples of a woman being fed up and being angry and we've had women who have been fed up who would speak, i.e. Monique. We have had women who have been fed up who have been angry, i.e. Miss Taraji P. Henson. And we have only, to what comes to my frontal lobe, one woman whom within all her rage, within all of her being just sick and tired of the sick and tired, to just jump full into her fire of frustration and overstimulation, is Miss Nicki Minaj. She is the only one that I have heard and seen and speak on just saying a man can be fed up, a man can be the boss, and be called a boss when he takes charge, when he speaks his mind, when he stands his ground, when he says this is what it is and I'm not wavering. These are my negotiables, my non-negotiables, and that man is a boss. A woman, such as herself, would do the same thing and be referred to as a bitch. Why is she a bitch and not a boss herself? Why is he able to be within what he is and she not able to be within what she is and they share the same title? Why is one a boss and one a bitch? Because one is respected and you're intimidated by the other. Something about a black woman taking charge and standing full in how she feels. And there's another thing. A woman can be full in her rage and still have control of her rationale. We won't pick up a gun and get to just busting and saying, oh, I blacked out. Oh, the emotions got the best of me. No.
Family annihilators.
We understand.
They lose their job and they take everybody out and the dog.
You're coming with me. Everyone's coming with him because John just couldn't take it no more. So Susan and Sally and Anitha has to go with him. On the flip, Keisha can be sick and tired of every damn thing from her husband to her children and the dog. And Keisha will take her ass in a room and talk to God and say, Lord, please help me and carry me through this day, through this week, through this month, through this year, Lord, because I'm tired. And Keisha will wait for answers and sit in her rationale and release all her emotions to then wipe her face and pick herself up and walk out and continue on with the day with her family. She won't take her family down depression with her. So that is another thing that women do that men won't, as much as they want to say that women are emotional creatures. How emotional are we if we are able to recognize we are in our emotions to then pull ourselves out and jump into our rationale and be logical? Men will sit and be within their emotions and just, oh, I'm emotional, I'm mad. I understand that. I see that. I get mad too. What you can't do is fall into this tantrum of a 6-year-old. You're 35. Very much to the point of waiting to exhale with Angela Bassett's character. When she's fed up and all your clothes get stuffed into that cute little Lexus and it's set on fire in the driveway, there's nothing you can do about that. And so it very much becomes what I believe and feel, men viewing black women especially as their mothers and not their partners. Because your mother tolerated whatever it is your father did. And so you look at some, and I'm going to say some, it's never all. I won't generalize you. It's never all. Very few and a lot of some view their partners to be their mothers, and what she tolerated, you think the next black woman would because the first black woman in your life did. And that's not what life is. And so you need to get to know your partner, and you need to step away from boyhood into manhood. I mean, jump into boys to men. There was a reason they were boys to men. They had to grow the fuck up. You got to grow the fuck up. You were once a boy. You are now a man. When are we going to grow? When are we going to mature? I will say that, because I would always love for you to keep a childlike spirit, but I need you to be wiser. I need you to be maturer. So, yes, that I do feel as it is dehumanizing to women, because men want to dehumanize us because you didn't see your mother as a human. You saw her as mom. You were never able to separate that first black woman in your life to be a black woman. You always see her as mother, and mothers are nurturing. So you see a nurturer. So you see all black women to be nurturers, but not all black women want to be a mother to your ass, and they'll leave you. And so, yes, there's a matter of understanding who you are, because you are a magnet. And so if you feel that you're getting something lesser than what you deserve, maybe you are a lesser being that just attracted another lesser being.
Mic drop. Boom.
Cut his fucking mic off. It's fucking done.
Are you that fucking done? You ain't hear what the fuck I said?
You asked
Cut
me.
his fucking mic. Since he want to be fucking dumb. Now you want to be fucking dumb, nigga. Now you want to be fucking dumb.
I love that, Nikki. I love that, like.
He fucking dumb? Cut his fucking mic off. Does he want to act fucking dumb?
Like I said, but many would call her a bitch for that statement, because she said what she said. You want to keep playing with her intelligence. Are you dizzy? Are you dumb? Yes, cut his fucking mic off since he wants to act stupid.
Thank you, Sissy. I absolutely love your perspective and your thought process, which is why I wanted to have you come on very quickly and break down the fact that I had been thinking about, like, just how women are portrayed in the media in other facets that is not nurturer, caretaker, person who is going to sacrifice for the greater good of a man or for the greater good of a family. Like, we don't have an opportunity to show up in multifaceted ways in the media, especially ones that depict what some would consider, quote unquote, in masculine attributes, which they're not necessarily feminine attributes or masculine attributes. They're just human attributes. Humans are caring. Humans get upset and angry. So thank you so much for coming and giving your lovely insight and opinion. Merry Christmas to those who are listening to this today, but happy holidays to all, and Happy New Year to many of you. And we will see you on the fucking flip side.